What's up everybody, it's Critical, and 3 days ago, my urethra was swabbed. This video I want to serve as a PSA for any man that might be faced with the option of doing a urethral swab. So for those of you who don't know, a urethral swab is an STD check, and since I'm a hypochondriac, anytime that I'm given an option of checking for something, I'll always do it no matter what. In this case, I was 100% sure I didn't have anything, but just being the way I am, I always do the check. It really just doesn't matter what they're testing for. They could tell me they're testing for radioactive alien cum on my skin, and I would say, yep, sign me up, I need to get checked for that. I think it's about that time of the year. So he told me what the test consists of, and I really wasn't that worried about it. I thought he'd come back with maybe a little gizmo or a trinket that I'll put in the tip of my pee-pee hole and take it out, and that'd be the end of the story. That'd be all she wrote. So I say yes to it, and then he walks back in the room with a fucking pike from the Middle Ages. This thing was fucking massive, and it had a little cotton ball in the end, but it may as well have just been barbed wire. But I really wasn't that concerned. I didn't think this man would be able to fit the entire behemoth down my dick hole. I mean, if he did, it'd be coming right out of my anus. So I was still okay, I wasn't that worried, and then he said it wasn't going to hurt, so I was even more comfortable. I knew he wasn't going to shove the whole thing in there and start tickling my lungs or something, so I was okay. So he gently took my flaccid cock in the palm of his hand, and with one swift motion, as if he was hammering a nail into a piece of wood, shoves the entire gadget down my dick hole, and everything stood still. For a brief moment, the world stopped spinning. There was no war, there was no pain, there was no sorrow. Everything froze, and then I was filled with immense pain and agony. It was just so painful, my body reacted in strange ways. I had like a fucking vision like That's So Raven. It was just a really weird experience that I'm having a hard time describing. And then he started twirling this medieval torture device 4 or 5 times clockwise. It was a tornado of agony and just anguish down there in my penis. And then it resonated throughout my whole body. For a second, I thought my arm had fallen off. It was just absolutely absurd. Then he yanked it out, not even gently, just vroom, just yanked that shit right out like he was starting a lawnmower. I thought he was going to pull a fucking baby from my urethra. And then this man had the audacity to say, "See, wasn't that bad, huh?" As I feel like my heart had just been tugged out of my one-eyed snake. And I just didn't know what to say. I said, yeah. That's all. All I could utter was a yeah, because I didn't want to make myself seem weak or like less of a man in front of this guy. So what started as a normal checkup turned into an excruciating experience that mimicked something you'd see in a horror movie from the 1940s. I've gone through some pretty tough injuries, broken bones, but this one took the cake and fucked it too. And it wasn't just an ephemeral pain or some type of fleeting moment. It persisted for 2 days until yesterday. Every time I urinated, it felt like I had just shoved my womb broom into a wood chipper. And I was just huffing down Tylenol, and I even bought some urinary tract pain relief stuff. And they definitely helped a little bit, but what it also did was change the color of my urine to an orange with a tinge of green. So every time I pissed, it looked like Shrek had just fucked an orange until it exploded. Basically, every time I used the bathroom and peed, the toilet ended up looking like a Jackson Pollock piece. It was fucking surreal. And I still, I'm better today. It's been 3 days since then, so it's definitely a lot better. But I still bear those scars because every time I piss now, I'm just worried, will my dick have a PTSD flashback here? So really the point of me telling you this unpleasant story about how my dick's been feeling like there's been broken glass shoved in it is you don't need to do a urethral swab if you want to get checked for STDs. You can do a urinalysis, which I didn't know. So do that. Never do a urethral swab under any circumstances. I don't know how the fuck the doctor can think it doesn't hurt unless he's been training his cock hole for 20 years, gradually building up the size of things he can stick down there from a Q-tip to a fucking soup ladle. But don't fall for that propaganda, because getting your urethra swab feels like your wiener gets fucked by a cactus. Just do a urinalysis. I wish I had just done that. But yeah, that's besides the point. Don't do a urethral swab. So yeah, that's the message here. See ya.